Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news and use that to our advantage to prepare by getting some killers from different weapons and trials and materia and abilities that are going to help us get ready for this week's events. The first one that we have going on is the Unsent Fiend, which is a raid. This is against the Demonolith, which is a demon enemy. Oh my gosh. 50% weak to water and dark, and you can break its attack and magic. Now it's a raid, which you pretty much just blow this thing up on turn one and not really have any trouble with it. But there is some nice gear that you can grab here. The Maester's Robe, it gives evocation damage boost, which is pretty rare on an item. And then also some killers for demons, killers for dragons with some attack and magic on it, which is fairly nice. I think it's pretty cool. And then if we scroll down even further, blah, 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 here we go. We have the two challenge events that are part of this this raid. So obviously we're going to be preparing for Demon. We're also going to be preparing for Machines. The Lingering Dissident is the Omega Weapon trial. It's a machine enemy with 135 fire, ice, wind, earth, and light resist, and minus 50 resistance to water, dark, and lightning. You can use all the breaks you want. And the challenges for it are to do no continues, a party of 4, and no KOs. Now, when you do this, you're going to get Unalesca fragments, Lapis, mystery crystals, and more, which is pretty good reward. So you definitely don't want to miss this one. I'm hoping that it's 3,000 Lapis. That would be sweet. But yeah, machine killer. So now we're already up to demons and machines. We also have the Spheromorph fight, a Spring of Memories. This is a fairy enemy with 75 resistance to fire, ice, lightning, water, wind, earth, and a minus 200% light and dark weakness, which is really good. And attack and magic breaks are the only thing that works on it. The challenges here are no KOs, 10 turns or less, and no continues, but the rewards are really, really good. We're getting Unifragments, and we are also getting 1/10 Neovision summon tickets times 10, which basically just means a free Neovision unit, and other good stuff as well, like Transcension Pearls. So you definitely don't want to miss these two opportunities to get Lapis and Mystery Crystals and lots of good stuff to upgrade your units, especially the Unifragments. She's a premium unit technically. Maybe not the best premium unit, but she is helping me out a lot this week with Vision World. So definitely don't miss out on getting her free fragments there. The other event that is on here that I did not create a slide for is Isaru's Aeons. This is this one here, and I was actually just thinking to myself the other day that I missed the old exploration type events that we used to get with the various series game events. And the good news is this is an exploration event, and I didn't know this was coming, so that's kind of a nice surprise for me. But I'm really looking forward to a nice exploration event. This has been such a long time since we've had one. There's some neato gear that you can get here. A two-handed weapon. We always like two-handed weapons with evasion and machine killer on it. That's pretty cool. So that's gonna be helpful. Don't miss that. And then also some other good stuff. Whatever. Transcension Pearl, Gigantars, more mission rewards. Nice stuff. Now those bosses, there are some bosses in there that are a little bit different. So there's Grothia, which is a Beast Reaper enemy that's weak to water and ice. There is Terra, a Bird Reaper enemy that is weak to dark but resists earth. And then also Spathi, which is a Dragon Reaper enemy that is weak to water. And that's basically all you need to know about it. It's just weak to water. So lots of killers to kind of prepare for. Beast Reaper, Bird Reaper, Dragon Reaper. And we're not even done yet. So like if we keep on going, we can see that there's another event that we're going to get, the 12 types takedown versus Rafflesia. And so here we go. It's a giant plant. Who's excited? It's a plant enemy that resists 265% fire, ice, lightning, water, dark, 500 resistance to light, and 95 resistance to non-elemental damage. And I say that it has a weakness of 230% resistance to wind and earth. But that just means that those are the lowest resistances it has. Thank goodness you can use all the breaks you want. But this is definitely going to be challenging for, I think, a lot of players, probably myself included. If you don't have like the best Imperil units or the ability to stack multiple sources of Imperil, like Imperil fields and really good breaks. This could probably be a little challenging for a lot of players. Take your time. Don't be in a rush to beat it. It's there, but it's not going anywhere. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna try and figure this thing out together. But strong units and wind damage or earth damage. Thankfully, Sylvie can do that with nice party-wide 100% earth amp, which I think will play into a lot of builds and runs. So that'll be cool. Also, Chizuru's very strong wind damage dealer, has her own 100% personal amp for wind only. Probably very, very strong here. And she's naturally good at fighting plants too, which is even better. And that's what we know. So let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yep, got the Spheromorph, got the Lingering Dissident, and we got the Raid, and then also Isaru's Aeons. So yeah, let's think about it. So we got machines, we've got demons, we've got plants, we've got fairies, we've got reapers, dragons, beasts. Oh my gosh, so many different things. So I thought it would be fun to just kind of do a simple one, right? So we're going to do a simple one, and we're going to go after some demon human killer with the new EX squad, which is very exciting. Demon is in the raid. The raid's going to help you get some killers for other stuff, so it'd be a good place to start with some demon killer. Very nice. So I said we need plant for Rafflesia. The good ones that you can get here are Scorn of Antinola. You can also grab plant killer or plant eater sense from the Belphegor trial if you haven't done that yet. Belphegor can be a little challenging, so I'm not including it here because this is mainly aimed at newer players, but there it is. So Scorn of Antinola, pretty easy if you have some strong units that can help you get that. We also said Spirit for Spheromorph. The Gargantuan Grub of the Sand gets you Spirit Eater Sense and Spirit Killer Plus from Scorn the Genies, two very nice materials that you can get from trials. Don't miss those. Machine Eater Sense from the Dullahan Advanced Trial, and then a bunch of STMRs and TMRs are pretty good. Mechanic for the Royal Family, Valued Memories, Last Guardian, Master Machinery, lots of good stuff there. And then we also said, plant, we said demon, okay, was the main one we were going to focus on. And we're going to be going after Mask of Asura, which is from the easy version of the Asura trial. But we are going to be taking a new team we've never taken before. And I'm going to just say that this team is very much so wailed out, even though they are not very strong units. But they really needed it. So we're going to have some fun with it, and I'll show you that. But there you go. I don't think that the exploration bosses are going to be that hard, but there is Dragon in there. So, Apollo Harp, Ashura's Rod, Dragon Killer Plus, lots of good stuff there for dragons. Dragon Killer Plus, Dark Lord, lots of good TMRs and STMRs for dragons. So don't forget to skip out on don't skip out on those. There's also a bird one that's part bird. That's a quad. Hold on. Not a whole lot of bird stuff. Scorn of the Genies gives you Avian Eater Sense, Bird Killer Plus, good stuff, but not that much of it. And then the Beast one as well. Although I will say that the Rafflesia trial is going to give you Beast Eater Sense, which is if you need Beast Eater, there you go. But you can also get Beast Killer Plus from Scorn of Aemon if you're looking for it there, as well as Valued Memories from Irvin, very, very solid materia. But yeah, that's all the killers. There's tons and tons of enemies this week, and I just thought it'd be fun to kind of do an easy one. Turned out to not be that easy, even with the team that we're running, but we'll take a look at it together, and we'll get the Mask of Asura here. I feel like the Mask of Asura is a very solid trial reward item that you can get in the Vortex, and it is in the Nemesis Pane, in Chamber of the Fallen, on Scorn of Asura, the easy version, which is difficulty 320, so not that easy, but all you have to do is beat the boss and you get it. If you want to do the other stuff, no KOs, 15 turns, no items, that's going to be good. But the main reward is just beating the boss. And if you've got really strong Neovisions units, like current ones, then this works really well. But I want to point out that I'm going to go ahead and go back to the shop real quick. We're using the new EX squad. So one of the things I try to do is use units that you can get in the special shop using EX coins to level them up. And here they are. So last season, we were doing Medina, Squall, Warrior of Light Bards, Shantoto, a Shadow, Balthier, Gilgamesh, Beatrix, and that was last season. This is this season's picks. Fina and Dark Fina. Ignis is kind of okay at doing what he does. Reagan, I thought was going to be really useful, but is turning out to not be that useful. Shadow Lord has some potential, I think, but still. Kunshira, big time downer. Sacred Shield of Charlotte at least is a serviceable magic tank. Radiant Lightning is not as good as I hoped. Citra is definitely not as good as we need, but they are there, and they're the team that the units that we're gonna try and use for these trials going forward. So let's take a look at the team that we're running, and we'll start there. So we are going to be doing Scorn of Asura on the easy mode, and we're going to bring our own friend unit because nobody is setting those units as their friend units, and that's just the way it is. You could bring a strong friend unit and just blow this trial up on turn 1, but we're going to try and do it a little bit of fun, right? And so here's our team. We've got all those units, and we have Runda. We do need a physical tank, and none of those units are physical tanks. So we're bringing Runda as well because Runda is free. Everybody can get Runda. Here is the gear. In the base form, Ignis is wearing his own TMR and Paws of Prosperity, which is time limited, but we need it for the immunity buff that we can get to remove breaks and heal our give ourselves immunity, which is nice. Base form, I honestly just hit attack and automatic, and they just kind of loaded him up. This is not necessary. But, you know, he's just chaining on 1 turn, and it's not that big a deal. There you go. Reagan is in the shift form the whole fight, and we have him geared like so. He's got LB damage, he's got True Double Hand, he's got Demon and Human Killer, which he gears for very nicely. And that's really what we got here. We could get a little more True Double Hand if we really wanted to. We certainly are 50% short, so that would help, but it's not the end of the world. He's got this for Greatsword in Peril, and there we go. He's going to use this LB on 1 turn and chaining the rest of the turns. Lightning is also wearing a Greatsword and is just kind of geared like so. Yep. She does a little bit of chaining. That's really about it. Doesn't do a whole lot. She's just kind of there to support. Reagan. Shadow Lord spends his whole fight in the shift form as well, geared like so, geared for LB damage and True Double Hand and Human and Demon Killer. There we go, LB damage. He's got a really good vision card. Oh my gosh, Runda is just geared for defense. We're not evading, we're just doing defense, and that's really much about it. He does chain a little bit, but doesn't do a ton of damage. He's just there to support. And Charlotte is wearing a lot of evasion stuff and provoke, and she has the Obsidian Bracer. Outside of that, she also has Yeti combat style. We're going to be attacking 4 times a turn, and she's going to eat up all of Asura's counters. And that's going to help us get this thing done in 4 turns. So let's take a look and get into it. And we'll go ahead and put up the big screen here so you guys can see my actions. There we go. So we're going to start with Ignis doing double tactics, enhancement, because we will need that for party imbues, and overwhelm. There we are. And Reagan is honestly just going to chain a little bit. Lightning is going to Thunderfall to give herself lightning, which doesn't really help that much. Buster Impulse to imbue or imperil the boss, and Bolt to just do a little bit of damage. Before we do any attacks, Charlotte is going to just attack 4 times. That way she's going to eat all of the counterattacks. Runda's going to do LB. Shadow Lord is going to wall for mitigation, kneel before me for LB damage boost, and Blighting Blitz to fill his LB gauge. There we go. Did about 3% damage. Not that impressive. Notice Charlotte eats all the counters, the dispels, and all that bad stuff. There we go. Runda covers the damage. We're totally fine. This turn, Ignis is going to imbue the party with lightning, which I know is the wrong element, and we're going to get hit by a break in just a moment. And it's not that big a deal. We're going to remove it. We're going to use enhancement, lightning, and reinforcement for a buff. There we go. Before we attack, Charlotte's going to attack first. While she's doing that, we're going to go ahead and get ready to chain. Here we go. And Shadow Lord is going to Tyvus Spirit. I told you, this team has got a lot of good stuff going on, but it does not do a ton of damage. Without units like Lone Lion Squall, who are really, really good NVAs, the team really suffers at doing big bursts of damage. So Runda's just going to cover, break, and barrier. We're going to hit by Ruination of Providence here, which is going to break the whole party. Ignis is going to remove that, and it's going to be fine. There we go. And Ignis is going to Paws of Prosperity, Courageous Roar to get rid of those breaks and make us immune for the rest of the fight. Charlotte is going to attack 4 times to get the counters out of the way. We're going to go ahead and chain Sonic Octostrike Blade. And Lightning is going to chain Bolt, Bolt, Spark Assault. Shadow Lord's going to cap. And Runda is going to use SLB to mitigate damage. The timing of this is kind of tricky. I'm just going to send the Chainers and then Shadow Lord pretty much right after. So it's going to look kind of like this. All right. So notice we did about, gosh, it was 83 to 36. So that's like 48% damage. So not the best, not the worst. We could do better, but you know, these units are not that great, and Runda's just gonna SLB here. Super cute. Okay, so we've got a couple choices we could do. We could have, and this depends on like what happens with your LBs and your gauge refills and stuff like that. We could have Shadow Lord, Ignis, and Lightning all chained together, and Runda too. Or we could have Ignis, Runda, Lightning chain, Shadow Lord cap because we got his LB again, and Reagan use his LB and try and push the damage that way. So that's actually what we're going to do. I think it'll be kind of fun that way. So let's go ahead and have him shift. This is the one turn where we do this. And we're going to triple Spell Daggers for Lightning. And Lightning is going to triple and use Bolting Strikes. And Runda is going to triple Bolting Strike as well. And before we do any of that, Charlotte's going to attack to get all the counters out of the way in case we die. Because if this doesn't work, then the boss is going to counter us like normal, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm going to send Reagan first because he takes a minute to power up his LB. Everybody else is going to go after, and hopefully they're going to chain and do some damage. So here's Reagan and some chaining. There we go. Thankfully we did enough, and this thing's over on turn 4. If this goes to turn 5, Reagan downshifts to his base form, and we lose the ability to continue doing damage because I'm not geared. So getting this done on turn 4 is really, really nice. Here's our damage breakdown. Shadow Lord actually ended up doing the most damage in that particular clear, mainly because he capped with his LB twice. Reagan only capped with his LB once, and then everybody else is kind of just doing supporting damage. There you go. Don't see Charlotte on there because she's a friend unit, but she's there and she's doing very little damage. She's mainly eating the counters, which she's relegated to that duty in this particular clear. And that would get you all rewards for that mission or for that trial. as well as the Mask of Asura, because the trial rewards again were no items, 15 turns, no KOs. We got all that and the Mask of Asura with the new and improved EX squad. So there you have it. Tuesday Preppers is a success for the week. So we got a mission done, and we'll see you on Thursday over on Twitch for all the new content. And I hopefully that talking about the killers and stuff that are needed for the game for this week will help you to kind of get ready. And I hope your Vision World is going well, and hope you all are good to each other and have a great night. And we'll see you on Thursday. All right, take care.